What if the simple act of craving a forbidden herb became the catalyst for a lifetime of entrapment, isolation, and sacrifice? This is the dark story of Rapunzel, where a stolen plant changes destinies, a sorceress exacts a dreadful price, and a young woman's golden hair becomes both prison and key to salvation. Picture a remote village bordered by forbidding forests. In one modest cottage, a husband and wife long for a child above all else. As dusk settles, the wife leans out the window, transfixed by the succulent rampion, lush green leaves and violet flowers growing just beyond a high wall. That wall belongs to a sorceress feared for her dark powers, but the wife's craving grows night by night until nothing else will quell her hunger. Driven by desperation and love, her husband scales the sorceress's wall to steal what his wife so desperately needs. Little does he know that this small theft will forge a chain of events enslaving their future daughter in a tower with no doors, no stairs, only a single window high above the forest floor.
In a village nestled between dark woods and rolling hills, lived a couple whose greatest sorrow was their childlessness. Their modest home overlooked a high-walled garden belonging to a feared sorceress, where the most succulent herbs and flowers grew in abundance. The wife, growing heavy with child at last, developed an insatiable craving for the rampion that grew in the witch's garden, its delicate leaves visible from their window. Each night her husband watched as she grew weaker, refusing all other food. Finally, driven by desperation, he scaled the garden wall. But on his third night of theft, the sorceress caught him among her prized rampion beds. "Your life is forfeit," she declared, her voice as cold as winter frost, "unless," her paws hung heavy in the air, "unless you swear to give me the child your wife carries." Trembling with fear and shame, he agreed. When the baby girl was born, the sorceress appeared to claim her, naming her Rapunzel, after the plants that had sealed her fate. The witch raised the child as her own until her 12th year, when she locked her away in a tower deep in the forest, with neither stairs nor door, only a single window at its crown. Rapunzel grew into a maiden of extraordinary beauty, her golden hair, never cut, cascading like a waterfall of silk. Her only companion was the sorceress, who visited daily, climbing up using Rapunzel's hair as a rope. The girl's solace came through song. Her voice carried through the forest like honey on the wind, her melodies born of loneliness and dreams of a world beyond her window. One day, a young prince, following the enchanting voice, discovered the tower. He watched in secret as the sorceress called, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," and learned how to reach the maiden above. When he finally revealed himself to Rapunzel, she was frightened at first, having never seen a man before, but his gentle manner soon won her trust. The prince visited nightly, bringing silk to weave into a ladder for escape. But before it was complete, Rapunzel, in her innocence, revealed the truth to the sorceress. "Why are your clothes growing so tight?" the witch had asked, and Rapunzel, not understanding the implication of her changing body, confessed to the prince's visits. In her fury, the sorceress hacked off Rapunzel's golden tresses and banished her to a desolate wilderness far from the tower. When the prince came that evening, the witch waited with the severed braids. As he climbed up, she appeared at the window, her face twisted with cruel satisfaction. In his shock and horror, the prince fell backward into a thorny thicket that pierced his eyes, leaving him blind. For years, he wandered the wilderness, living on roots and berries, while Rapunzel survived alone in the desert, giving birth to twins, a boy and a girl, and raising them in exile. Through all their hardships, she never stopped singing, her voice carrying her sorrow and hope across the barren landscape. One day, her familiar melody reached the prince's ears. Following the sound, he stumbled toward her voice, until at last they were reunited. When Rapunzel saw his scarred face, she wept, her tears falling upon his ruined eyes. As if by miracle, Her tears of joy and love restored his sight, allowing him to see not only her face once more, but also their children for the first time. Together at last, the prince led his family back to his kingdom, where they were welcomed with great celebration. The sorceress's power over them was broken, but the tale of their triumph over cruelty and separation lived on, a testament to the enduring power of love and sacrifice. Yet in quiet moments, Rapunzel would still sing to her children, not songs of loneliness now, but of hope and redemption, teaching them that even the darkest tower can become a path to freedom, and the deepest wounds can lead to healing.
In its most famous form, Rapunzel comes from the Brothers Grimm, a story laced with cautionary lessons about greed, deception, and the lengths to which parents will go for love. It's easy to forget how grim the original can be. Forced child abduction, unwed pregnancy, banishment, and blindness are not the hallmarks of a sunny fairy tale. Modern retellings, most notably Disney's Tangled, tend to soften these edges. The hare becomes a source of healing magic. The desert exile shifts into comedic escapades. The sorrow and desperation that once defined the story transform into humorous sidekicks and joyful sing-alongs. While some praise these changes for making Rapunzel's saga more accessible, others argue that the deeper moral complexities, like betrayal, suffering, and redemption, are too often lost in a swirl of bright colors and catchy tunes. Yet, even if each adaptation paints a different tone, the core remains. The fascination with Rapunzel's hair is more than aesthetic. It symbolizes how a person's rare gifts can trap them just as surely as a tower's locked door. The tower itself serves as a testament to the cruelty of isolation, while the desert exile underscores how love sometimes flourishes despite life's harshest conditions. Blindness and the healing tears point to transformation. Through pain, new visions are born. Across all versions, Rapunzel's name, taken from a mere garden herb, reminds us how our smallest choices may cast the longest shadows. And so, Rapunzel's story endures, a testament to resilience in the face of captivity, to love nurtured against all odds, and to the sacrifice that often stands between imprisonment and freedom. From stolen herbs in a witch's garden to desert wanderings with twins, each harrowing moment shapes the child, then the maiden, then the mother. The final vision of Rapunzel's tears restoring the prince's sight offers hope that even the darkest fate can yield to miracles forged by unwavering devotion. Yet in the hush of evening, we might remember that every rescue has its cost. Rapunzel's tower, stripped of its hair rope, remains a silent monument to stolen childhoods and lost innocence. And though she finds her way to a kingdom beyond the forest, the lessons carved into her story remind us that true freedom can only bloom when we face our darkest trials and allow our tears to heal the wounds we never thought could be mended.